Hey, welcome back. In this episode, I'm going to teach you how to calculate the price of land. You know, I'm constantly asked, like, how do I figure out the price of land? How do I calculate this? What do I offer for this land? What do I sell this land for? In this video, I'm going to show you how. All right, so I got several points I want to make in this video. One, could you possibly be overpaying for the land? Two, I want to talk about subtracting the actual house value from the land. And three, finally, what does the actual county assessor have to say about all this? Hey, my name is Brent Bowers, and I bought over 259 parcels of land, and I have over 100 land payments pay me every single month. You know, I'm always asked all the time, hey, how much should I pay for land? How do I figure out what the land is worth? And I just don't want people to ever overpay for land. So generally, I try and get land at 30, 40, 50 cents on the dollar. No, I'm not out there lowballing people. I'm actually helping people out of a situation, getting the monkey off their back, the burden off their shoulder, because 99 out of 100 people are not going to need my services, but that's that one person that I can help that, they're about to lose the land to back taxes, or they inherited it many years ago and they're not paying the taxes, or, they might have went on vacation to Florida or Colorado or Texas at one time and they bought a piece of land for their someday maybe cabin, and this thing has just turned into a nightmare for them. So those are the people I'm buying the land for. I want to find the motivation. That's how I get massive discounts for this land. All right, so let's talk about how to calculate the land value of a property. So you want to figure out what the land is actually worth, and I like to look at vacant raw land only. I don't want to see the stuff with the houses on it. I don't want to see the stuff with the multi-family houses on it. I want to just focus only on the vacant raw land. And there's ways to do that. There's a couple ways to do that. First you could start with calling a realtor that actually specializes in land. I don't want to just get some random realtor that doesn't do any land whatsoever, because they're not going to be the best source for that. I want to find the realtor that specializes in land. And how do you do that? You can start by calling real estate offices and saying, hey, who's your realtor that's like the expert in land? And a lot of times they might not have one. So ask, hey, what's a real estate office that specializes in land? And then get that person on the phone. And when I get that realtor on the phone, I like to say, hey, I'm in this area, I'm in this town, I'm looking at 5-acre parcels or this 10-acre parcel. I want to see what this thing is actually worth. Like, what is the actual 30-day blowout price? If you were to list this piece of land for me, what would the get it done now price be? Like, because I want to know what the actual value today is, not a year from now. That's why I asked for the 30-day blowout price. And a lot of times you might get a little resistance from this realtor if you don't already own the land. But you want to kind of look at a way how you can serve them, and ultimately they're going to be wanting to be paid for their time. So that's why I always say, hey, I'm looking at buying this land. I'd like for you to possibly list it for me. What is the 30-day blowout price? And you'll find that most realtors want to serve. They want to help you figure this out. So if you're searching, how to figure out the land value of a property, it sounds like there may be a house, there may be a mobile home on it. So you want to almost subtract the house from it. So that's where you got to kind of run those numbers. Let's just say that piece of land is worth $100,000 and the structure on it's worth $300,000, and you're getting an actual comparable of, let's just say $400,000. Well, you want to kind of figure out by removing that structure. If you were to remove the actual cost of that structure, that would give you the land value. So I use a quick example. The house or the structure is worth $200,000, the land's worth $100,000. Well, subtract the $200,000, that gives you a land value of $100,000. I also like to look at vacant raw land in the area just to maybe verify or check my math, check my numbers. So if I see that vacant raw land in the area is only selling for $35,000, well, that tells me I'm completely off. That example I just told you, the land's worth $100,000 if I remove the $200,000 structure. Now that's a total of $300,000. But down the street, not even a mile away, 6 months ago, this piece of land sold for, $40,000. Well, what's the difference there? Well, you want to make sure that land over here is a kind of an apple to an apple. This land over here that sold for $40,000 might not have water on it. It might not have a septic system. It might not have electric on it. Well, this one over here does. That's why this one's worth $100,000. Always want to compare these apples to apples. You're really comparing an apple to an orange. This orange has a septic system. This orange has water on it. This orange has, electricity on it. So that means it's worth probably about $50,000 more than this $40,000 lot that went over here. So that's kind of when you're trying to determine the actual land value. The one that sold for $40,000, the land value for this one is probably worth $40,000. So let's take it another step further. So when figuring out how to calculate the price of land, I like to always check in with the assessor as well. But before I do that, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I come out with these videos 5 days a week talking about anything and everything land. But I want to talk to you about the assessor, but hit that subscribe button first. All right, so the assessor is kind of like the old boy expert in the area. So they deal on this land every single day. They're probably the most intimate people with it because they deal in like how much is the house worth? How much is the land worth? Because the assessor kind of breaks it all down for the treasurer to tax you on the land. So that comes when we hear about assessed value, or what's the assessed value of the land, or how much should I offer against the assessed value. Well, the assessed is just taxes, and we want to talk to the actual property assessor to see, like, hey, what is the house worth? What is the land worth? And what is the land worth with the utilities? It's kind of really three different things. If you're trying to figure out what the actual land value is without the utilities, without the house, you really want to talk to the assessor because they can really point you in the right direction. And I just asked them the question, hey, if there was no house, no utilities, no water, no septic, no electricity, what would the actual market value be of this land without all those extras? So the reason why I really like calling the assessors, these guys are so open. They have nothing to sell you. They're not going to make any money for this, and you are paying them. They actually work for you because that's part of your tax dollars hard at work. If you treat these guys with respect and you're courteous to them and nice, they're going to treat you with the ultimate courtesy and respect as well. I've sometimes called these assessors and gotten so much information on parcels of land in new counties when I've moved into a new county, a place where I want to buy and sell land, and they just give me everything. They're like an open book, like a total encyclopedia about a county or a town. And I'm telling you, this is just like the most untapped resources. No one's doing this. So, if you're interested in making additional income, or maybe even buying and selling land, or becoming a land investor, I coach people every day on how to make an extra $1,000, $2,000, $5,000 a month in passive income, all through land. And this is a virtually untapped network. There's like no competition in this. So if you're interested in booking a call with me, go down below in the description and click the link, and I look forward to talking with you.